And we are back for another live episode of the Kingdom. 2 for 3 once again to start the episode tonight. Drums is in no man's land by the sounds of things. He's having some computer issues, so we're hoping that he joins us in a couple minutes here. But we got to get going without him. So welcome to everybody across this beautiful country of ours, Manitoba, Saskey, Alberta, BC, on the Rock in Newfoundland. Maybe Bryce is tuning in from Thailand. We shall see. Either way, pour yourself a beer or a Caesar or a coffee, and we'll see you in 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back, just the two Headley brothers for now. We got Drummy with some technical difficulties, trying to get his internet going there, so he should be joining us shortly, hopefully, after I butchered his intro. I don't think it was the greatest. It wasn't up to his speed by any means. We got some cool things coming up in this show, but I'll chuck it over to Jory here to see what's going on with him.
Top of the evening to you, ladies and gents. Reggie. Yeah, you've done it a few times now, but I don't think you were overly prepared for that one. It's a bit of a mouthful. Drums has done her 110 times now, so he's got some practice under his belt. This is episode 110. We're doing predictions for 2023 golf and otherwise. If you're in the chat, give us a shout, give us a hello. We're going to be hopefully keeping track of these predictions, because what's a prediction if you don't follow up on it?
That's right.
So we're going to give a few predictions of our own. We're hoping that some people in the chat will be chiming in with their predictions for the year, and we're going to take note of them. So you got some time before we get to that stage if you're watching live. And we got a few other things going on. Merce Dad's in the house.
Champ is here.
Yeah, we sent off the marker to Cockerill to be signed. I guess you need a specific marker to be signing leather head covers. So that is en route to Winnipeg. Whenever he gets back in Winnipeg, he'll be signing those, and Shane will get a new set of head covers and some other stuff too. But yeah, not a whole lot going on at Rossman today. She's pretty quiet for sure. Loving the weather, loving the lack of snow. Been pretty busy, and it was fun watching the price of Bitcoin. She's been a painful ride for the last probably year. But whenever you open the exchanges and it's frozen, that's usually a good thing. So that happened a couple times. She was going up pretty fast, and that's what we want to see, especially with the recent interest investments in the 88 sats. So we'll provide a little bit more on that too as well. But Reggie, what's up?
Same old shit. Back in Dauphin. Back into the... Actually, I shouldn't even say cold, because it's not even cold. It's -7 again here today. This is...
Couldn't be warmer.
If winter was like this every year, this place would be so much more tolerable to live. But unfortunately, as we all know, it's not. It's not usually like this.
I bet housing prices would be a lot higher too. There'd be a lot more people coming to Manitoba, I think.
I think so too. But the winters are just so shitty normally. And we're still not through February. But I mean, it's January 11th, so we're halfway through already, which is crazy. It seems like winter just started, which is a definite bonus. Other than that, made her home Saturday. Was supposed to stay, as I mentioned last week, to watch Reese play Saturday night. Just didn't have it in us at the end of a 7-day holiday. We just kind of wanted to get home and get set up before work started again on Monday, so we came home. Other than that, not a whole heck of a lot. Funny story, I wanted to make a Caesar for the show tonight. We were out of I'll get to it in a second. So I Worcestershire sauce, and I went to the grocery store, and I went to a different store than I usually go to because I wanted to pick something else up. And I literally walked around the store for 20 minutes just so I didn't have to ask somebody and say that word to them as I was asking them where it was. So I literally just went around looking in every aisle for 20 minutes instead of asking somebody.
Did you find?
I found, yeah. But it's
It's a
such a
tough word.
like, hey?
It's a tough word. I've probably said it 1,000 times in my life, and I don't think I've ever got it right.
Mm.
You did pretty good there.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have if I was asking somebody where it was in the store. Just panicking.
You could just say that stuff you put in the brown stuff you put in Caesars. I'm
Right.
sure
Right.
I'd get it.
I'm sure that's all it's really known for anymore. I guess people cook with it too. We haven't got to that stage yet, I guess, where we start using it for cooking, but no, that's where I'm at.
I cracked open a fresh bottle of Tabasco sauce. I remember you saying that you don't think you've ever finished one in your life. I probably go through 3 or 4 bottles a year minimum.
That's absolutely insane. That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. I've never seen a Tabasco sauce empty before. Ever.
Yeah.
But
I like the spicy stuff. The Brits say we say it wrong. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how the Brits say things. I mean, they're the originators of our language, so we can't be too hard on them, but I don't know. How do they pronounce it? Do you know, Reggie?
no, I don't know. I think we had a discussion on the podcast one day, but I just thought it was funny. I was pacing around the grocery store looking. So I was too scared to ask. One more thing, I guess, before we get going here too, or as we're going already. I do have a beer, an exciting beer to try tonight. Finally, before our bowling on Monday, Ryan took us down to the future site of Obsolete Brewing. We got a tour of the place. Looks unbelievable. It's going to be such a great place to hang out.
When's it fire up? Do they know?
They're waiting on one actually electrical panel right now. So, and you know how everything is with COVID right now, so it's taking forever to come. But anyways, besides the fact, it's going to be an unreal place to hang out. It's such a cool spot there, and we actually got to sample a couple beers. We had a oatmeal stout, and then a pilsner. And sometimes like you drink those oatmeal stouts, and you're like,
Oatmeal?
gross, yeah. Like it's just a dark beer, and it was actually like so good. Like I would actually buy it in the store if it was there. And then the pilsner was good. So, but the reason I'm saying that is he actually gave me a beer to try, and it's actually a double IPA, so it's 10%. So
boy.
I'm going to try it during the show tonight, and we'll see how it goes. We're hoping to have some sort of partnership with them once they kind of get going. It's tough to get anything going right now before they're open, but they're open to all kinds of things, and so are we. So hopefully they can become the official beer of the Kngdom podcast in the future. They do have seltzers and stuff like that for Drummy too, because he won't be drinking any beers, but they do have other things that they're going to be into as well. So exciting times ahead for Obsolete Brewing. This is an ad. I shouldn't say this is not an ad because this is an ad. Really excited to test out this 10% beer. Hopefully I don't get too banged up from it on the show.
What do you mean? Hopefully you do. We've all been there before. I have for sure.
Yeah. Whiskey Caesar night.
We got a Chaz. We don't have a drums yet though.
I wonder how many people listening now would have been around to listen to the episode when your Whiskey Caesar pissed.
I don't know. It's tough to say because I don't think that was live, was it?
No, it wasn't live, but it was definitely part of an actual podcast that was released.
I'm sure there were people watching now that, or whether they're in the chat or listening later, that I'm sure there's probably, the viewership and the numbers have gone up probably 50 to 70%, I think, every year, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But we still had a pretty solid base when we started of buddies and supporters of King. So there'd be a few. It was a pretty funny episode. I don't even know how you'd go about finding that.
I don't know.
Because it wasn't called.
I feel like it would have been
where it gets hammered.
It would have been in the description though. I think you'd be able to find it, yeah. Dad just sent me a picture of how to pronounce Worcestershire.
Okay, try her out.
According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, skip pronouncing the R altogether and the CE while you're at it, and barely say the second R. Start the word off saying Worcester, and then finish off the British Shire, Worcestershire. All right.
Right? Maybe that's what Cam's talking about?
Worcestershire.
Drums looks like he's in the lobby here, but he's looking in. Do you see him, Reggie?
No.
Ches is asking if we've tried out the pickled Caesar from Farmery. Have you, Reggie?
No, I haven't, honestly.
Cam says you nailed it. Drummy!
You on the phone?
Hold up. I'm on my phone.
Tough
Just a nightmare scenario over here.
What's happening?
It's a long story, but essentially nothing's connecting to the internet, and then it finally did. But like, I can't use what do you call it, Safari, so I have to download Chrome or something else on the laptop, and that is literally taking like I'm downloading an album off of LimeWire in 2005.
Are you?
Yeah, essentially.
Not ideal.
Yeah, just struggling to not lose my shit.
Internet seems to be an issue here. I've been battling a little bit today and the last couple of days as well. So I don't know what's going on, but she's not ideal for a podcast.
Yeah, struggle. What's going on over there? How's the boys?
Well, Reggie tried doing the intro. I wouldn't say it was his best effort, but I mean, he got away with it.
Attaboy.
I wouldn't say my worst effort either. It was probably just in between.
Do you want to give her another go, Drums?
Not much excitement, no voice cracks. I was okay.
We're going. Let's go.
Okay.
Drums, I was just telling these guys I got a 10% beer from Obsolete Brewing, so it's a double IPA. So I'm gonna have it during the show tonight and see how I react.
That's the new place in Dauphin?
Yeah, I got a tour of it the other day. I was just saying how sick it was, and how there's potential for a Kngdom Obsolete collaboration in the future.
Jordan, have you had the new one in Brandon?
What's the new one?
We can't speak of it.
6 or something like that?
We can't speak of it. They're not a potential sponsor of the podcast.
They're not one of the boys?
No, I haven't. I didn't even know they were open yet. I was at the dock on Thursday or whenever I was in Brandon, and I didn't know if they were open or not.
Yeah, I think they opened in like November or maybe even October, something like that.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, they've been around for a minute.
Oh, pretty good pour under pressure, really.
That's the new one?
Oh, boy.
What's the flavor of that, Reggie?
I don't know.
Oh, that's a double IPA, you said?
Double IPA.
Okay, well, let's get the show going here a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
Let's get to the housekeeping. Reggie, I got a few things. You want to kick her off here? You got any updates from the golf world?
A little bit.
Tom Kim signed with Nike, I saw.
What?
I don't think we touched on that yet. Oh, you didn't see that?
No. Unreal.
Pretty sure.
Tiger, Rory, and Tom. Like,
I'm pretty sure I saw that.
Who else you need? Honestly.
Did you see the story about the first time he ever saw Tiger?
No.
Oh.
He was like 6 years old. I forget what tournament it was or something like that. And I forget how it goes, but he was essentially just standing there decked out in Nike gear and just saw Tiger going into the bathroom, and there was like a slew of people trying to follow Tiger. And he's like, that's it. That was the first time I saw him. I remember that for the rest of my life. And they were like, did you follow him into the bathroom? No, I was good. I just left after that.
That was his story?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I can't wait for the years ahead with him, man. So sick.
That Hasbulla. Have you guys seen that video meme of Hasbulla when he's strutting out of the bathroom and is like me coming out of the men's room after dropping a deuce right before the first tee shot?
Oh, yeah. There's so many of those.
There's so many just good memes about him, like that he doesn't even make, that other people like use his videos. And even the one you sent last night, Drums, I was dying at that one.
What was
He's amazing.
Last Resort.
It was Papa Roach song, and he's shadow boxing. He was like me, 8-year-old me after my parents yell at me, and me in my room after my parents yell at me at 8 years old. He's like shadow boxing.
Cut my life into pieces.
Yeah. Oh, I got a cool story about Eric Anders Lang to tell on here too right away, but we'll save that. Did you guys watch the golf on the weekend?
Negative.
I watched like an hour.
Like
I
two
didn't.
things. Was
I
that
didn't watch
of
Sunday.
course like you didn't?
No.
Okay, I was gonna turn it on and I looked and Morikawa was up like 5 shots. I was like, well, I'm not turning this on. Like it's a waste of time to watch. And all of a
Same.
sudden
That's
I looked the
exactly what
next
I
day and
thought.
Rahm wins. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
that's exactly what I thought.
That's incredible. What the hell happened?
Morikawa, I guess he just got the yips with his chipping, and that was good night Jim Kite for him.
Jesus. How about Rahm, man? Did you see his
Unreal, right?
handicap?
Plus 13.
Plus 13. Like, what are we even talking about here? The guy's plus 13, a plus 13 handicap?
Is that like the lowest in history or something?
Well, I think somebody just took into account like his last
I think
like
it was 20
6
rounds.
tournaments or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Rahm's not like entering scores into a computer.
No. They go off like this. They go off the slope rating of the course, like, and then calculate what he shot, and then figured out like that's fucking or the index of the course, I guess. And they calculated that he was a plus 13. So if he was playing a scratch golf at any other course, he'd have to give them 13 shots the way he's playing right now.
That's nuts.
Like, what are we? That's not even real life, man. That's so crazy.
Did they have any comps for him? Like, what was Tiger in his prime? Or
I don't know.
Be interesting.
I didn't see
That's
anything
really
like
the
that.
only way you can gauge that kind of stuff is if you have comps. But still pretty impressive nonetheless.
Definitely. Pretty wild, man.
Well, we might have drums. We have them in 2 spots now, but I gassed them on 1. How's she looking, drums? Trev, welcome to the chat, buddy. We're having some significant issues here, I would say. Drums is getting the mute. I don't know if I can mute him or not. No, I can't. Need Dal here with the wrench. Okay, let's move on to housekeeping.
Drums is getting the mute.
Here we go.
You just woke up to mute.
You're frozen, but I can hear you better.
You actually look pretty good in the frozen shot that you have right now.
Did you fall in fish tank? This is the second week in a row we're having these issues. But it's okay. We'll sneak through her.
I actually love it, to be honest.
I don't know if he's actually frozen or if that's just kind of where he's at right now. Could go either way. Okay, I have an update I'll share while Drums gets his shit.
Yeah, do.
Because last week we were talking about Topgolf. Reggie is at Topgolf in Arizona. And there were some questions from the chat and from us because there were some things that I didn't know about that I recently had the chance to get some info from. Because as we know now, Roscoe Sheard is opening up. I don't think it's a Topgolf, but I think it's very similar. And he's using the same technology that Topgolf uses in Brandon. And there's a really good article actually about Ross in Beef's thing, whatever that is.
Brandon.ca, I think it was.
Yeah, BDN.ca, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure most people saw it. If you're a golfer or anybody, you probably saw the article. But Roscoe was in the chat. He just happened to tune out. I think he was doing a workout or something. Anyways, he said, this is from Roscoe. So he says, Callaway does own Topgolf, for one. Number 2, Callaway produces special clubs designed for Topgolf that are made out of titanium, so they're not going through 40 drivers a weekend. Right? Makes sense. So they're virtually indestructible. We've seen people go pretty ham on those things before. And so they're made by Callaway, but they're obviously made specially for Topgolf. And there's actually no chips in the golf balls. It's cameras above that track everything similar to what you see on the Golf Channel with the shot tracker.
Come on.
Drumsy,
That looks good, drums.
Hi.
you're back. You're back.
Oh,
A
fully
little bit
back.
better.
Is this a new laptop?
This is my phone. I just tried going on the laptop, and I don't know what the shit hit the fan there.
Holy fuck, looking good, buddy. Huh?
Oh, goodness. Sorry.
So
go
there's
on.
no chip in the
Continue.
ball. It's actually cameras that are above you that track like golf, like the Golf Channel, which I didn't know either. I didn't know that's how the Golf Channel did it.
It's above?
Yeah, the cameras are above you and they track everything. So the last part here is Top Golf does use scaled back balls, and if they don't have the real estate for a 300 plus yard outfield. So some of the balls there, if it's a smaller scale, obviously they have the
Pulling back.
ability to scale down the balls. I feel like there's another company or something that does the same to balls. Maybe it was Top Golf that we were talking about that does
Poplar Ridge does that too.
the drive range.
Yeah, driving ranges do that.
Right.
Which
Surprised
guy?
Gilbert doesn't actually.
Yeah. Yeah, really. But Gilbert is just like mostly members finding balls and putting them in the bin.
Right. But there's houses up there, like in the back of Poplar Ridge, like there's just open space.
It's funny when they say like no drivers on the range, and then like you show up to a turn, like a scramble turn, and guys are just like blasting drivers off that. And you're like, man, there's houses up there, and like there's a road. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, I don't hit it that far. It's going like 280, like way over the fence.
Have you heard of many incidents?
I haven't heard of anybody getting hurt up here, but I've seen people get yelled at.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You?
No, I've never used driver there.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I've ever actually hit a driver on that range.
That's a fat ass lie.
I have off the deck just to try to hit like I don't know, but I've never hit like a teed up driver there.
Speaking of Top Golf, how about Brandon getting their own version?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about because Roscoe was in the chat last week. But you missed that. So Roscoe was in the chat last week and he was listening to what we were talking about, and so he caught up and then sent me some info on Callaway owning Top Golf, producing their own special clubs. There's no chips and balls, and this cameras that track them, and scaled back golf balls.
Gotcha.
Everyone, yeah. So that info is from Roscoe, and his driving range or whatever. I don't think it's called a driving range technically. I think it'll be a little bit more than that, but it's called Shanks. Pretty good name, good branding. I think it'll be really cool out there. And I haven't had a chance to talk to Roscoe specifically about that and kind of what's involved, but I think I remember him saying that there's actually going to be shuttles going from Brandon out there and back because it is about 2 or 3 miles out of town, I believe.
That's sick, actually.
I think I overheard that too when he first started talking about it. Yeah.
That's pretty clutch. Really clutch, actually.
Absolutely it is. I mean, like, if it's, which it will be, like state-of-the-art stuff. I mean, we used to drive out to Shiloh half an hour to hit balls on a simulator from the 80s. So I don't think he'll have an issue getting people there.
No,
I don't think so. And then if he, like he said, it's going to be like a full-scale bar, activities inside, that type of thing. So I'm sure there'll be something for everybody to do. So looking forward to that. Did you guys touch on the Netflix doc?
No, not yet.
We got a date finally.
When is it coming out? I just saw the trailer for it.
February 15th. Yeah.
That's
so
not too far.
You give the lady some loving the day before, and then you get the rest of the weekend to binge.
Never mind. You still want to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a special is it like similar to the F1 where it's like one per week, or is it all coming out at once?
I think F1 all came out at once.
Oh, did it?
There's
so.
one. There's the first season did.
No, they've all come out all at the same time.
Not at once. I guess, yeah. The second season came out after they filmed it, right? So you're saying, like, is the whole first season going to come out?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
the whole season.
Like I'm saying, the whole F1 didn't come out at once. The whole series that they have now.
Drums is
every
saying
season. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, we're saying the same thing.
okay, cool. Good
But
talk,
I
guys.
completely forgot that there was live guys on there too.
Yeah, it'd be
Fireworks.
wild. Well, I mean, they were filming when the whole thing was going down, right?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Back when everybody was shitting on the live, and man, they made some noise since they started. But anyways, let's get. I got one more thing in housekeeping here. So if you guys have anything else, keep her in the queue. But last week we were talking about courses in Saskatchewan. And I had this, there was a guy, what the hell, Foster? I'm pretty sure that's Mitch Foster. That's what I just came to my head right now. His name's Foster Child on Instagram. Does Mitch Foster ring a bell to anybody?
No.
Okay. Pretty sure that's his name. I think he
From
used to hang out
Dawson?
with Tyler Dunn and those guys, but I don't know for sure. This is just could be all a lot. Anyways, he told us about this golf course called Katepwa, right? So we had some cool discoveries with that. Shane in the chat found that they're charging $400 for an all-day pass. This was Katepwa. And but the thing that I forgot to mention about this website was actually the best website that I'd come across. So I don't know if you guys can see there or not, but it has the hole there. It has risk and reward, like a full page of information, hole by hole.
It's pretty nuts, actually.
I thought so too. I think this is the best like website I've ever seen for a golf course before, and it's a 9-hole course. So like the risk here says pond is in play from tee, use 240 club from the back, 190 from blue, 150, blah blah blah. Like really good breakdown. And if I was going to play Katepwa for the first time, I would 100% be checking this out. Because why not?
Yeah, it's not going to hurt anything.
No. And Reggie, you weren't here last time when we started talking about it, but I just said like when you and I go to new courses like that, like we always look at the websites to see any sort of information we can get, just so it's a little bit less blind when you're playing a new course for the first time.
Yeah, that might be something that we could actually I mean, it's a lot of work probably, but put together with our followers in it. If they've been to courses, they could kind of give us input on the courses, and then we could put together. Yeah.
Love that.
Stay tuned. Man, this beer might be banging me up off 2 sips.
Reggie, I think we'll have to do that this year. We'll maybe start putting that together. So if anybody in the chat or listening to it afterwards wants to get involved with that, just send us a message. We'll probably need some help with that. Obviously, we haven't played every course and we don't know the ins and outs. So we would almost need an expert from every course and then kind of compile it all together into some sort of website, even if it's just like a burner site that people can go to and check out. But on that note, I think we're going to try to get some pros on for leading up to the 2023 season. This is kind of what Drums came up with last week. We're going to try to get a few different pros on and maybe ask some questions about the upcoming year, ask them just bullshit with them. A couple other questions that I think would be, or that we would find interesting. So any ideas for that? You guys or chat? We'll obviously have to have Patty on here. Hopefully Landon can come on. It'd be nice to have Des on too. I don't know if he'd be up for it or not, but Scotty. So look forward to that. We'll probably have to start doing that in the
Frozen for you?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you both froze, and I was gonna go ballistic.
Am I back?
Jory, yeah, I don't know
You're back.
what you might want to repeat what you just said. I don't know. You froze for both of us pretty hard.
What did I say last that you guys heard?
You said we're gonna have to get going on it right away here.
Oh yeah, okay. Am I okay now? My internet just dropped.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. We're gonna have to get going on it soon because I want to have at least 5 or 6 pros on here, kind of leading up to the April when we can start golfing in Manitoba, which doesn't feel that far away actually.
No, it doesn't, man. We're like 3 months away.
We're almost the middle of January already.
Have to love it.
This good weather really cuts a winter in half when you can get even a couple days like this, never mind a couple weeks. So love that. So that was Katepwa. All right, let's get to our predictions here. So we had the idea a couple days ago to come up with some predictions for 2023. We're going to do some golf ones, hopefully. I got a few at least. We're going to do some otherwise predictions, maybe. I got a couple as well. What the hell's that?
I don't know.
And then we're going to hopefully get some input from the chat. We're going to record them after and then maybe revisit them in like November or something to see who got the most right. I don't think we'll do any sort of contest for it or anything. We'll just kind of look back and laugh and give some appreciation to anybody who got some predictions right. So who wants to go first? I got 4 or 5 here and a bonus one here too. So maybe I'll start. Okay, my first one is I believe that Manitoba courses, actually courses in general, all across Canada, I think that golf courses are going to have the best year in recent history. 20 years, 30 years, probably ever. That's my guess for this year. I'm guessing they have record years. And the reason for that is because when we had the pandemic a couple years ago, a ton of new people got into golf. And we're finally seeing now that come to light almost. There's a bit of a lag there, I think, between, someone going out there a couple times a summer versus spending some time practicing, buying their own equipment. What's that noise?
I don't know.
Maybe it's on my side. I don't know.
And so I think that this is the year where all of those people who are kind of new to golf in the years of the pandemic, this is when they kind of start golfing more, maybe joining leagues, maybe getting memberships. And so I think that this year, combined with all the other excitement around golf, like the Netflix, everything, I think that this is going to be a perfect storm for a record year for all the courses.
Yeah, I think that last summer was kind of catch up from the last couple summers. People are getting their weddings in. People are kind of planning everything they can. Right. So people didn't really have time to golf on weekends, and nobody's really going to spend time on a membership or spend money on a membership when they're really not going to get out that much. But yeah, it could be huge for a golf round here, especially with the season being so short. You kind of need to jam pack it into those weekends. So hopefully you're right on that. That'd be sick for this area.
Okay, drums, what do you got? I'll start writing these down. I don't have to re-listen to that.
Mine are on my phone, so I'm just trying to remember what I had. I went golf for most of mine, so I had Jon Rahm winning 2 majors.
2 majors. Wow.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's a bold claim.
I think last year was kind of an off year for him, and with all the shenanigans going on with both tours, I think he had just had his second kid early last year, or first kid. So it was probably a lot of chaos going on in his life. And judging by what we kind of seen this weekend, he's turned that ship around and he's headed back to where Jon Rahm was headed before.
Yeah.
That's a good call. Because he had a really good 2020, right? And he got robbed of a few tournaments with his testing positive and winning the tournament.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy how quick you forget about things in golf. I find it's one of the craziest sports for that, though. Like baseball, you know who won last year. Hockey, you know who won last year. You know who had the best year. But golf, I remember there was years when DJ was doing the same thing as Rahm did that year, and then you just completely forget about him because somebody else like Tom Kim comes onto the scene, and you just completely forget about who's actually the man. And obviously Scotty Scheffler with his run.
Most of the other sports, you've got hockey, you've got 32 teams. That's kind of around the standard. Where in golf, you've got hundreds of competitors that can either pull it out that week. So, so when you think of it, the longevity that some of these guys have when they're at number one, and how long they spend at that, just think about that.
It's crazy. It's so crazy.
I saw something saying Spieth has been number one, or not Spieth. Rory's been number one for X amount of time, and even if he was number one for like the next 3 years, he would still have like a stupid amount. I forget what it was, but I was just like mind blowing compared to how long Tiger was number one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the craziest stats in golf, I think, how long he held it for. Or in all of sports, I mean, not just golf, yeah. Yeah. My first prediction, mine are all golf as well. Just I don't know. When I think of predictions for this pod, I can never think outside the box. I don't want to track mine, I guess. But if you guys saw the video of Ricky's swing on Instagram, my prediction is that Ricky wins again and becomes relevant this year.
Nice. Love to see
if you partner up his skill with a swing that he can trust, yeah, he's sick. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just
putters too when he was in his prime.
He was sick inside 10 feet. Yeah.
Range? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my first prediction.
I like it. Hopefully the people in the chat are thinking of theirs because we've seen a total of 0 so far. So either they're scared to throw the neck out there or they're just listening along. Either way is fine.
Speaking of scared, I'm scared to finish this.
Guzzle it.
This is nuts, actually.
Did you guys see that shit up? Rick Shields versus Ricky video? I did not. I like that Rick Shields though. He seems like a good shit.
I think he's the guy doing the Modoc too, or he's part of it.
What's a Modog?
Documentary.
Oh.
A Mo Norman?
Mo Norman.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought you were saying like
Modog.
Smells like up dog in here.
What's up, dog?
Oh, here's the first prediction. Here we go. This is what we're here for. Cammy says Blue Jays win the World Series. Hopefully the floodgates are open. Keep the predictions PG, obviously.
I don't know. Is there even a chance of that one, Reggie?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, lots of predictions. I see that they lose to the Dodgers in the World Series. So they got really good this offseason, defensively wise. But I could go on and on. It's probably my favorite subject to talk about, so I don't need to get into that. But yeah, they're good.
Sure. What's number 2 for you?
Second one here. I'm going to go ahead and say that the LIV Tour and the PGA Tour combine.
Combine completely, or are you talking like there's some?
No, not completely. They won't. I don't think it'll be this year. I think eventually it might happen, but this year I think
there's some concessions.
Yeah, I know we started to see it at the end of 2022 a little bit. I mean, compared to where they were, basically we had the guy of the PGA come out and say it was either Rory or Tiger or both, basically saying as soon as we can get rid of Greg Norman, we'll start to talk a little bit more. And I don't know that they'll get rid of Greg Norman. I think that he's their guy, but I do think that maybe
that's on the horizon.
Well, it could be, but I think if they don't, they'll at least have somebody else in charge of being the liaison between the tours.
They've lost 2 high-ranking board members, I believe, like the title is, in the past month. Yeah. And I think kind of some of the rumblings are that they were not getting along with Greg Norman.
Okay, so then that might happen too. They might just boot him, and then that would help my odds of being accurate here. So yeah, I don't think that they'll obviously combine tours. There's not even a chance that could happen, but I do think that they'll at least make progress or do some sort of collaboration on a few things. And I think it'll at least start in 2023 because there's just not room for 2 tours, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think that the LIV would already be gone if they were going to be dead. There's just too many names. Trev thinks that we'll see some bigger names abandoned. Uh-oh.
Speaking of abandoning, see his drums.
Okay. So I'm going to put Trev here. Do you want to go next, Reggie?
Sure.
We lost
I didn't have a whole lot to say about yours because I have a very similar one. But my prediction was I think there's going to be some kind of massive controversy, some kind of massive event happen within the LIV Tour, and they're going to completely fold. And
Really?
PGA is basically going to take those players back. Maybe a slight suspension, but I think they will take them back in the end. But I think that something bad's going to happen to LIV in the near future here.
Okay. So LIV implodes. And you think they're going to shut down?
I do.
Okay. So we're saying there's an event that happens that triggers a LIV collapse. Okay. And Shane also said in the chat that he thinks one of the LIV players will win the Masters. So we got predictions coming in from all over the place. Trev said there's a decent chance for the Jays. And Mom, I don't know if she accidentally typed that or what happened there. Do you know, Reggie?
No.
All right.
Maybe she thought YouTube was Google.
Drums, while you were gone, I said that a massive event will happen, and I think the LIV's going to fold. But that's my opinion. I don't know whether it's golf related or something happens with the. I just think that something's going to happen with the Saudis, and they're going to come crawl. The players on the LIV are going to come crawling back to the PGA this year.
So we're basically saying opposite things, Reggie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in between.
Well, I guess not.
I had on my list that there will be a fist fight happen, and we'll catch it on camera between a LIV golfer and a PGA golfer.
No,
that'd be sick.
That would actually be wild, especially.
Who? I'd like to see Jon Rahm beat the wheels off of Patrick Reed.
Poles?
Or Poles.
I think it's Poles getting shit hauled.
I would like to see Phil and Tiger fight.
It's a wish.
That's a good point, Cam, because Reggie's been wishing that for a while now, and they just don't seem to go away. In fact, they are going the other way.
Yeah, when's the last time you heard anything about the LIV?
I don't know.
What's the off-season guy?
Yeah. PGA too.
Yeah, okay. The last I heard, they were sniping courses from the PGA.
Oh, yeah. Okay, whatever. We don't need to get into it again. I just think that O'Doyle's going to come crashing down, aka LIV.
Yeah, I don't think the Saudis are going anywhere at all.
I don't either. There's no chance. Like they're buying up the world, and as we know, money talks in every way.
You will. Oh fuck!
I wish I could pin a comment to the chat here
forever.
So, Jew Will's prediction for 2020 is Weed City makes it the whole season without running out of jalapeno dogs at the 10th Snack Shack. Happened not quite often, but it happened a couple times this year. And I mean, I'm not against it because my golf game lives on without it. And certain players like Jew in the league, if they don't have their jalapeno smoky at the turn, they might as well just leave for the night. Head to OJ's a little bit early.
They crash harder than
it's
LIV
soul crushing
this year.
Soul crushing.
Oh, you're one of those guys, Drums?
Oh yeah.
I usually bring a homemade chicken sangi.
Oh,
but you know, I'm Ukrainian. Don't tell Grady that.
Hey, who plays with Farns in the league? You, Drums?
Yes, sir.
Hey, missed another one here. Trev says a Canadian wins the RBC Open. That's a hell of a guess, because the Canadians have been absolutely buzzing the last couple of years, like we've never seen before. And I think there are more Canadian wins, but it would be nice. It'd be really cool to see somebody win Canadian Open.
What else you got, Joy?
I'm going to say that Aaron Cockerill wins in 2023.
You
I figured I'd get that in there before you guys tried to save it for the last. So that might be a unanimous prediction from the boys then.
Yeah,
I'll take credit for it though because I said it first.
fuck. I gotta come up with something then.
I'm the oldest. I take credit.
Okay, how about this? I'll change mine to AC gets 2 wins for the year.
Ooh.
So who's up, Drummy?
Is it B?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going NHL on this one. Cup winner, Leafs, baby.
Ooh.
I'm buying in the first year that I've actually bought in.
They lost me money tonight. That's why I was kind of preoccupied before.
Oh, did they? I didn't even see what happened.
I had them to win by 2, and they scored with 3 minutes left to go up 1, and they couldn't get the empty netter. Or no, like a minute and a half left to go up by 1.
Maple Leafs win the Cup 2023. Wow, drums.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Realistically, they can. Or are you like Sam said, wishing or a prediction?
No, I mean, it's possible. I see it more this year than they've ever had. I think they'll need some good depth pickups, trade deadline wise, going into playoffs. But I mean, it's possible.
Okay, I'm gonna go off drums in and say Jets win the Cup this year. They're buzzing right now.
They're buzzing. I do think that the Leafs have a better chance over the Jets.
Maybe so, but the Jets have a better goaltender.
The Jets have an easier side too.
They got to get past Colorado though. But yeah, I agree. There are a lot of good teams in the East.
I mean, realistically, both teams would have to get past Colorado to win the Cup.
No, but he's saying to get out of the side. But
right, but to win the Cup.
Yeah.
Right?
It'd be sick Jets Leafs final. That'd be actually unreal. But
so
I think we're wishing here.
Could we dare say a Canadian wins the Cup then for the first time this year? Like, are there any other Canadian teams that have a chance, or is it just those two?
Well, I mean, with McDavid, they're always going to have a chance. They got to figure out. They got to figure out a fucking goalie.
Majorly.
And
that's
still off of that, but
Calgary's decent.
Yeah, if Calgary can figure it out and go on like a big run, they're solid. I just don't think the trade has kind of worked out as predicted so far.
Yeah, but not for Florida either. I don't know.
Right, very true. They're gonna miss the fucking playoffs. Their first round pick that they gave up Montreal for Sherrod, not protected.
Right, it's nuts.
Where's Sherrod now? Calgary?
Sherrod's in Detroit now.
Yeah.
Last year he went to Florida.
Benny C. The Jets never should have got rid of Benny the Jet. Ever. That was their demise. Him and Myers, I think, left the same year. Or Armia, that's what it was. And Myers, I think, too.
Mm-hmm.
Roscoe, Mr. Shanks. Ross, if you missed the first half of the episode, we gave away all your secrets from Callaway, golf balls, and the lasers. No, not lasers, cameras.
The laser.
Roscoe says Tiger wins a major. Could you actually imagine? Would this be more special than his last one, or less, or equal?
Yeah, more.
I would say more too.
I mean, yeah,
he could walk before.
Does he have a realistic chance, though?
I don't think so. If he took a cart, he might.
I don't think so either.
Not even the Masters?
I think.
I mean, it might change after we see him at the Masters.
You think the Masters is the worst one just because of all the slope?
It's the hardest walk, yeah. So.
Yeah.
I thought the ones overseas were harder because of the wind and shit.
Well, that's why he was geared up to play St. Andrews, because it is somewhat flat, right?
Mm-hmm. Either way, I just want to see him play.
Sorry, fellas, catching up.
I had him down for a win. I didn't say major. I just said a win.
Is it possible in that the Leafs have a 1 in 32 chance. Oh, so Trev's saying they don't have a hope. And Cam says Colorado.
There's a chance.
Is this true?
Yeah, that's
I don't
hilarious.
think we'd make it up.
They're out of the playoffs right now. Yeah, they actually lost last night to Florida in regulation, so tough. But I think they're 4 points out or something right now. So
Our buddy B Hill asks Drums, are you confident in the Leafs defense? Drums. It's a no.
Like the most confident I've been in probably 10 years.
Who's it?
They had an unreal stretch of November into December, and kind of the last 2 weeks of December were shit. But like it was a month and a half that they played phenomenal defense, and their goalies were amazing. And that was definitely not what I predicted going into this season. How the goalies would shape out. I thought it was going to be an absolute gong show.
What's wrong with Austie Dog?
I had heard something hip wise, but he's just taking a day and then he's back at it tomorrow.
Just Nashville.
He's got to get sniping though. He's got to get sniping.
Yeah. There's some high-end goal scorers right now in the NHL. Hey, Jesus,
it's crazy. That
seems like
fucking mutant in Buffalo.
I was just gonna say it seems like Tage Thompson gets a hat trick every night.
Oh my god!
Why is he so big and good?
6'8" and can dangle.
Where's Bryce tonight? He'd be all over that.
Yeah, Bryce loves him.
They're still not winning the cup though, Bryce.
They've been absolutely on fire though.
Roscoe's in van. Cam says, which comes first? Tiger wins another major, or Leafs win the cup? Dad
probably
thinks
all of our deaths collectively.
None of them happen.
Probably accurate, honestly. No?
I don't know the way the world's going around these days. That might definitely happen.
Okay, do you guys got segments here?
Kind of got a quick wreck.
No. I almost put Return of Reggie Strokesaver in the title tonight. So
I got a quick show wreck.
Okay, I'll give my last two predictions here, Drums, and you can get going on it.
Okay.
So the first prediction I have is a positive one. And that is Drums has baby number 2 in 2023. Maybe the baby isn't hatched. Baby might not be hatched, but baby will be on the way. That's my prediction. And the second one is interesting, actually, to me anyways. I don't know if people out there will find this interesting or not, but this is more of a calculated guess or prediction. So there's only been 2 times in recent history that stocks and bonds have both gone down over 20% in the same year. 1931, 1969. 2022, the same thing happened. Okay. Both those years, 1931, 1969, the USA defaulted on their debt. In 31, they went around to every house and took everybody's gold, confiscated everybody's gold. And in 1971, Nixon took the USA off the gold standard, which has basically triggered everything that's happened since then. We've been living in a monopoly money world since 1971. But the point here is that both times that happened, stocks and bonds went down 20% in the same year. 24 months after that is when the US defaulted on its debt, both times. So 2022, it happened again. So I'm predicting, based on history, not my opinion here, based on history, the USA is going to default on its debt this year, 2023, and if not, 2024. little depressing, but I think that I mean, there's not much we can do at this point other than prepare ourselves as best we can. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. And I don't know if they'll be going house to house and looking for everybody's gold. They also didn't have Bitcoin back then either, so got a bit of an escape valve right now, I guess you'd say. And I think that people are starting to take advantage of that a little bit. But that's a prediction for the year. So more of a calculated prediction and depressing a little bit in a sense. But if history doesn't repeat, it usually rhymes. So that's my final one to end out.
I did have one more off the board one.
Oh, did you? Okay, let's hear
and it was Elon basically turns to Julian Assange. So he has to flee the country and take refuge somewhere that won't extradite him back to the States.
Really? You think Elon?
I do. So I just think the shit that he's uncovering and going to continue to uncover with Twitter and the Twitter files. I mean, they're obviously not happy about it, and they're going to try to put a stop to it somehow.
I feel like with Twitter, it's a lot more out in the. It's out there more. You know, when all the WikiLeaks happened, I feel like it was a very small amount of people who actually A, read them, and B, gave a shit. So I think that the Twitter files
to that shit back in the day.
Were you? I feel like the Twitter files are on a much bigger scale, and I don't think Elon would pluck around if he wasn't fairly well protected. So, I mean, it could happen because I do think it is more important than, you know, the original. Well, I shouldn't say more important because there's a lot of stuff that came out from Julian Assange, but it just seems like Elon's more of a global figure as compared to Julian Assange was. So I hope that doesn't happen to Elon. So Drums thinks Elon running on the run. Where do you think he goes? To Russia with Snowden?
I think it's got to be Russia. That's the only place that he'd be safe, I think.
And on the run. Jor, I forgot to put my depressing prediction of USA defaulting on debt. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but, you know. Good. Also, I wanted to say this is kind of my in 2023, I'm going to be doing a section where I'm going to be talking about like investments, money, how it relates to sports. And I'm also going to be looking back in history, like this time in this year, like a time capsule type deal. But today I wanted to keep it short. And Mom and Dad got me this little ball marker for Christmas. That's the one I was talking about last year.
Oh, yeah.
Or last week.
Yeah.
So this was made with a 3D printer. Like this thing came out of a 3D printer per se. It's sitting on my counter. And I think that if Elon wants to make $1 trillion, he'll make a home office printer that actually connects to a computer. Like every printer I've used in the last 5, 7, 10 years that I've tried connecting to a laptop, like wirelessly or like with Bluetooth, I've never got one to work. So either I'm a dumbass or there's like a real need for just a printer that works. That's it. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Have you ever seen those 3Ds work?
Yeah, they're wild because it's just like a bunch of
I don't get it.
You don't get it?
I gotta see it.
Yeah, it's just like it's
so
almost
what, like it's just a tube of liquid that you put in the printer, or like how does it take? Like what does it get? Like what does it take to make that piece of plastic?
That's what I wanted to know.
So it's like it's a material. Think of like what would I compare it to? You know, like a whippersnipper has like the hard plastic that whips the shit. The twine.
The snipper.
Yeah, the snipper. So think of that like rolled really tightly, and you kind of load it into the machine, and the machine translate like your design, and then it spits it out. So it's just like I haven't seen one in person. I've just seen videos of it before, but I mean it makes stuff like this and other it's mostly like all plastic. It's all the same material, right?
Yeah, like I mean they're kicking out like kidneys and shit. Like I just don't get that. It's just it's
Yeah, so
I don't know.
we
Do you
have
ever
the
run
ability.
into like shit that your head just can't process
Yeah,
without
that's it for me.
actually seeing it happen? Yeah, like that's what a 3D printer is to me.
I think
so
even if I
foreign and, like,
saw it, I'd
alien
be confused.
sounding. Yeah, true. And a clit is the other one. I'm searching for that one. I don't know.
Like a Coors Light IP.
That caught me off guard. Man,
So
this thing is banging me up.
Is it
Uh,
doing his job? Dad thinks Leaf Jets final would be the dream. I think so too. As much as I don't really watch hockey anymore, I feel like I would get up for that one. If you know what I mean. I'd get up like the day before golf trip, that kind of thing.
oh, I thought you meant something else.
I did.
Oh,
Trev says
like the day before the Netflix.
saver. What's that, Drums?
To get up like the day before the Netflix doc.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Reggie, Stroke Saver Arizona edition. Do you learn anything from your time in AZ? Any takeaways?
Drums gone again. Houdini. Where does Houdini keep going? I don't know if I learned anything first. Actually, I did. I did learn how to putt when I was there, but it's not really something I can.
Happy learned how to putt. Did you just need some time off from it or what?
No, I did figure out what to do, but it's really, I mean, it's the most common sense thing ever. It's just a lot of the times if I start putting shitty, I do have one other thing here too that I want to go over, but if I start putting shitty, I think it's all in alignment, and I figured that out in Arizona how to get proper alignment. I know it seems like such an easy thing to do, but a lot of the times if you're a lefty and the putt goes from left to right, you almost like push the putt out there. If it goes left to right,
talked about this before.
yeah, instead of just lining up down that line and hitting just a straight putt down that line.
Yeah.
And I'm so guilty of that. When I start putting bad, and I think I did that the whole year last year, maybe without even realizing it. And I putted so bad last year, and then it makes putts break more than they actually do. So that's what I learned down in the desert. And the last round I played, I made a shitload of putts, which was a nice change.
It's always nice to see putts rolling in.
The guys I was playing with were fired right up.
Nice.
I was like 2 under on the front nine. They're just going nuts.
Did you play again after we talked to you last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once more. Then we went to the NBA game. That was pretty sick too.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Paid $56 for 2 beers, but other than that, it was pretty good.
That's nuts. It's a good time though, eh?
Yeah, I shouldn't say. I guess I can say it on here. I don't really care. Nobody works for the Phoenix Suns. We paid for like Upper Bowl tickets. Hey,
you'd be surprised.
We paid for like nosebleed seats, and we got up there for the anthems. And then Sparrow actually texted me. He's like, "Why are you sitting up there? Like, there's so many seats available down below." So then we just like went back down and walked into a section and sat like lower bowl for the rest of the game.
Found a seat. Yeah.
Those were like $270 for tickets each down below, and we just walked down there and sat there. It was pretty sick. No, it was a really cool experience though. First NBA game and won't be the last for sure.
Yeah, and there's just nonstop like shit happening everywhere, eh? Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Except for that Big 8, and I don't know if you follow basketball at all, but there's that DeAndre Ayton that plays for the Suns. He's like 7'1", I think. And no, he just signed a big ticket, and I had money on the Suns that night, and he was so shitty, man. He must have missed like 20 shots. I was so mad, but they lost.
Cam says that a company in Ontario is 3D printing houses with concrete.
Yeah, like that's what that shit I can't wrap my head around yet.
Is it actually concrete, or is the plastic material in place of the concrete? I could be wrong, but I feel like it's just one ingredient that comes out of the 3D printer, and you can make a lot of shit with it because it is like hard plastic. But I don't know how it can be concrete. That's what I wouldn't understand. Maybe the technology.
The organs and shit that they're making, Like, is it plastic? And they're
The
putting
what?
that like a plastic in somebody's body?
Oh, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it would have to be.
Oh, yeah. Like, I didn't understand none of that. Maybe we'll
I
have
don't know.
to buy one and test it out. See what we can
I think so too.
figure
I'm
out.
so confused on that, how they could build a house with a printer. But
Did
Yeah.
you guys see any of that Chat GPT stuff on the subject of wild stuff happening in the world?
what's
No.
that?
Well, it's basically like a program, like an artificial intelligence where you can ask it a question. You can ask it to like, say I wanted to say, can you AI please write me a song about Jason Drummond, Regan Headley, and Jordan Headley living in a whatever. They would write a song, or you could do like a movie script. Like you could say, write a movie script about the Winnipeg Jets and Toronto Maple Leafs playing in the 2023, and they'd write a whole movie script about it. But it's just artificial intelligence. So I've seen some wild stuff with it, and I think that I think people are really underestimating how much it's going to change the world. Like Elon said the other day, there's going to be no homework in the future because there's not.
Right.
People will literally have tools at their disposal. They can type in whatever the question is, and like more so than Google changed the game of homework. Like I just think that it'll completely be gone because these students are going to start becoming smarter than the older teachers around, right? And how to utilize the technology.
Did you see? It was probably it might have even been like a full month ago, but like everybody was hopping on the train of getting AI to sketch a picture of them.
Yeah,
Or
right.
did you see the app? We talked about this before with like the aging app where you had to upload your picture and shit, and then that app just owns your likeness now. Exact same thing with the AI thing. You had to upload 20 pictures of yourself, give all these
20.
details. Yeah, you had to give all these details of yourself, and now they just own it. And in the terms and conditions, they can do whatever the fuck they want with the pictures that you upload.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like is like if you have TikTok, like they pretty much have the same access as that.
So I
Or
have
if you have
TikTok, but I don't have an account.
Yeah. And so TikTok would have all my pictures basically from my phone.
I think StreamYard does the same thing.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say. So Cam says real concrete. I just don't know how that would be. I feel like I've heard that before too, but I just don't see how that could be. That part would be way above my head for sure.
I'm gonna look it up
How
for
big is
next
this
week.
printer?
I think they'll just print the parts.
Little bricks?
Maybe. That would make sense, actually.
For sure it would. Like you
Put
don't
all that
print
together.
anything bigger than like something depending on you can spend $2,000, you can spend $100,000 on these 3D printers. So it'd be the same as like a simulator, right? You can get an OptiShot for 500, or you can get a
Trackman.
Is that sound of me moving my arm?
I think it is actually. It's your headphones.
Holy fuck. Sorry, boys.
Big arms making a lot of noise over
Yeah.
What else we got?
Okay, I got this
How's that?
loose. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
How's that beer, Reggie? What would you rate it? And keep in mind that they'll hopefully be a future sponsor of the show. So
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Okay.
I mean, if
good.
I buy one of these, I'm getting banged up. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
there. Let's go.
Like, I paid $56 for 2 beers of the Suns game, and I can't imagine this is going to be $56. So, here we go. Okay, so my boy Lou Stagner, Golf Stat Pro. This isn't stroke save or anything. I guess in a way it would save you, but this is what I think that the three of us and everybody who listens to the podcast and everybody who follows the King brand needs to follow. It's the 10 commandments of golf. Number 1, have fun. It's a game. And like it's so true. Like it's just another hobby that people get way too serious about. Like none of us are making the tour anymore.
It's more than
Number 2, play fast. Huge. I played with this guy in Arizona, man. He was so fucking slow. It was the most frustrating thing in the world. Like he's just like, what is this guy doing? Like it was painful. Nicest guy ever, but just would sit over the ball for like 20 seconds every time he went to hit it, and like it's annoying. So number 2, play fast. Number 3, manage expectations. That's what this guy always talks about. Number 4, don't cheat. Like, who are you?
Biggest one in golf, I think.
Who are you? I don't know. Like, why cheat? Who are you really
There's
playing?
absolutely nothing to gain and everything to lose.
Who are you really
cheat
playing
once-
against?
No, but once you cheat once, you're a cheater
Yeah.
in golf, in life. But most,
True.
like golf, I feel like if you play with somebody and they cheat and you know that they cheated, that just stays like some things stay with you for the rest of your life. And like no matter what they do, they could do 1,000 things good to you, but you're still going to remember that time that they threw a ball out of their pocket in the bush or something like that,
Yep.
Depending on how intentional it is, obviously. But
This next one's huge too. Number 5, play tees appropriate for your length and skill.
yeah,
This is more suitable for like the courses down south where there's like 5 sets of tee boxes, but
yeah.
you also see guys playing the tips that should never be playing the tips. But that's
red all
I
day,
mean,
baby.
if you kind of got the course to yourself and you want to hit some different shots,
Yeah,
like I don't mind that.
For sure.
But on a busy course where you're kind of on the clock, then yeah, and a big part of that is that ties in with the speed too, right?
Yep. Number 6, fix all pitch marks. All pitch marks. And if you're standing there waiting for somebody to play on the green and you see a divot on the green, fix it. Like it goes so far if everybody does it, and it just makes for better rolls on the greens and less work for the greenskeepers, and they can focus on other shit. They don't have to fix your divots for you. Like number 7, repair all divots. Troy, you're probably one of the best divot repairers I've ever seen in my life. Sometimes to a fault, but you fix every divot that you ever make, which is impressive.
Well, not only that, but if I'm doing nothing on the green, I'll just fix like 3 or 4 divots. Like,
no, I'm saying like yours in the fairway.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Like you always go grab your divot and walk back and fix it, which it is impressive. Number 8, rake bunker.
You're welcome, Dwayne.
Hitting into a bunker when somebody hasn't raked before you and you get in there, either their ball mark or their footprint.
I'm in the
might
cart.
be one of the most frustrating thing. What's that, Drums?
I'm hopping back in the cart and I'm hunting the guy in front of me.
Like, it's such a joke. And it happens so often, too. Number 9, pay your debts immediately. I think this is going to get easier in the future and harder for guys to say, oh, I don't have cash, I'll get you next time, with the convenience of just being able to e-transfer. And I think there's going to be apps that come out where you can pay a guy right away.
Or
there already is.
Or, yeah, I know. But I mean, like golf betting apps, is there?
Oh, I don't know, like golf specific.
Bitcoin, Satoshis, and the like.
Right.
Cash apps, whatever you want.
I know what you mean, but not everybody has that. I'm saying, like, if you just load up a balance on a golf app and you could just transfer it right away.
Put a pin in that.
Or also, the same topic. If you put the scores in the game you're playing during the play and it just gets transferred over, so the guy doesn't have the option not to transfer it over after. It's like live transfer the money over hole by hole.
Right.
That would be wild, and it's working.
It should happen. It should happen.
Fully capable of doing that for sure.
Yeah. So cool everybody that's playing to get like on the scorecard on your phone, they have to upload the money, correct? And then it divides it up, and then whoever
every hole, every hole. So it's like Amigos.
And we can't release this episode until we make this app.
Right. Because that's sick. That'd be sick. Like you're playing Amigos or Wolf, and you put in who's on whose team, and then you put the scores in, and it calculates it. And then just takes that balance out of your wallet into the other person's.
That would honestly be one of the best selling apps, I think, on the planet, if anybody could figure that out. And it's more than doable at this point. Never mind in 5 years from now. Like the technology is already beyond that.
We need that Men in Black thing that you just hold up to block everybody listening.
No, I would love if somebody invented.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't have to. We're obviously whatever.
Maybe we
Number
will.
number 10, mark your ball. Sure, it's fitting that you just put that thing of yours up there with TJH, but I think this would, if everybody marked their ball, it takes away the bullshit of a guy going into the bush and saying, "Oh yeah, this is the ball I was playing."
True.
Like, no, it's not. You're lying. That's not the ball you hit in there. Quit fucking trying to play that.
Unless you have 20 more balls marked the exact same in your bag already.
Well, whatever. Then so be it. But
Then you're trying.
I honestly forget halfway through a round too, like whatever the fuck type of ball I pulled out. I mean, I'm a little different than you guys. I'll take whatever's on the course that I can still hit.
No, you're the same as me, Drums. We're different than Reggie.
Yeah.
no, that's not true either.
The one hole I could be using the top flight, the next I'll be using the Titleist. I quickly forget which one I just hit.
So I have so many things to comment on that. I don't even know where to start. So I'll maybe just not say anything. But Cam said Scott Stallings, a real estate agent, gets invited to the Masters. That was phenomenal.
So good.
Bryce Ancherick, the president of Thailand, one of his suggestions, we threw it out in the chat, or not in the chat, on Instagram yesterday, saying, what do you want to hear more of for 2023 from the podcast? And Bryce said, like a guide for beginners. And I think that'd be a pretty good place to start, actually. If you were just starting golf tomorrow, forget any of the skill stuff. If you focused on those 10 things, you would be invited to golf with a lot more people. And from there, that's where you start getting better at golf and enjoying golf more.
Yep.
And I think you could be the best golfer in the province. And if nobody wants to golf with you, then it's not worth it at all.
And if you don't do that stuff, then nobody's going to want to.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Like, it's just the reality. Lots of people can't figure that out, but that's just the way it is.
I posted a longer form video on, I just like trying different things, right? I mean, I get bored. I try different things on different apps and see just to find what works, what doesn't work, what people like, what.
Oh, it moved again. My shit's going everywhere. The sound.
So I posted a video in Florida golfing there. I was 50 feet away. I had a long putt and it was like a minute and a half video. So I read the ball, putted it. I was like 15 feet away, walked up, took the flag out, putted, sunk it, 2-putt. Somebody in the comments said, hit the ball already. Did you see that?
I was dying when I saw that.
I was like, I don't think I could have moved really much fat. Like there's a fine line between like playing to be done in 2 hours and like still getting ready to hit your shot.
I'm with him.
You think that was too long?
Yeah, let's fucking go.
Did you watch it though?
No, I didn't.
I don't think it was that long. Like the walking was probably a minute.
I can't imagine it being long. Yeah, that's the internet. People on the internet.
That's what it is.
He said hit the ball. I was just like, oh, ooh.
Probably one of my favorite things about being on TikTok is just like Instagram, most people who are like commenting on stuff and whatever else, but like TikTok's just the wild, wild west. And like
so many randoms there.
Throw out daggers on there. It's just wild.
Even Instagram shit, like when you in just like the explore page or whatever.
True. Yeah.
When it's just random shit, you click the comments. It is wild.
Some of those accounts that stole our videos, like usually they're ones from the Ironman, they get kidnapped and swiped. And like some of the comments in there are just like out of this world. Like everybody's so skeptical of everything. They think that we would actually pay for a ball and like have 8 actors out there on a green and like rehearse this whole situation of this ball almost going in and then it not. And then everybody like actually losing their minds. And people actually, they're so skeptical that they think that we would stage that. Like a small
The reason that they're so skeptical is because people do that.
I guess.
Like Steph Curry's 5 full court 1-arm shots that people were believing
who was it that was it Steph or no? It was Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Yeah, fuck off.
Trev's story. Or Trev's
Exactly.
comment.
That's exactly how I picture them saying that. Like with one eye down here and one up here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I listen to this Eric Anders Lang. I can't share it because it's on Instagram. I don't know how to do that. But this reminded me of you, George, so I wanted to show it on here because it's so funny.
Oh, that should be good.
When I was early to golf, and I found that I didn't really
Oh,
like
what a
paying
loud-
for
what a loud.
even the super twilight tee times were getting a lot because I was playing a lot.
Right there.
So I bought glow balls at Roger Dunn, and I would show up to the golf course at 10 p.m. in LA, and I would park over by the like fourth hole at Harding, and I would kind of jump the fence and I would sneak on like as though I was like breaking into Fort Knox, and I would rip out my glow ball, bang it on the tee, and I would just play like 5 holes in the middle of the night with my glow ball.
That's gonna be you at Rossman.
Oh, 100%. Already has been.
Did you get a membership this year? No, I just go at 10 every night with a glow ball.
Glow balls are gonna change the game of golf for sure.
But they got to find a way to make them softer. I'm sure they will, but
Yeah, they will. If they can put a man on the moon and a game on the tube.
game on the tube.
Yeah, let's wrap her up here, boys. This was a good episode. We had a tough start with no drums and some really sketchy video audio quality, but we really pulled it together. So I'm proud of you guys. And in a very engaged chat tonight, we had we had some newcomers, which is always good. And we love it. We love everybody showing up to the chat. These are a lot more enjoyable with people not only watching, but contributing to the conversation because, you know, we don't have all the answers. We like input and we like hearing different perspectives on things. So we appreciated it times a million. So drums, let's get her out of here, buddy.
As George said, thank you again to everybody for tuning in and hanging out with us. We love you all. Continue to follow. We've got some more. I was going to say shit, but we've got some very good things coming up this year for 2023, as we stated. But again, love everybody that came out. Love you, boys. We're out of here. Later. Peace.
Love you, fellas.
See you, boys.
See you later.